Isang panibagong episode ng Barber's Cut kung saan nagdi-discuss kami ng iba't ibang topic na pwede nyo ring i-discuss sa mga bahay nyo at pinag-usapan namin dito para at least ma-bring up sa mga usapan nyo. Wala naman kami mga PhD dito, mga barbero lang. Pero every week, syempre hindi mawawala ang aking mga fellow barbers. Nandito si Philbert Wong.
Ngayon, magandang araw po uli at wag na natin paligoy-ligoy pa. Exciting kasi meron tayong napaka-espesyal na panauhin.
At nandito rin si Warren John.
Yun. Topic natin ngayon, it's very exciting. Kasama natin yung isang iniidolo ko rin.
Idol nating lahat. At syempre, honored kami na nasamahan tayo ngayon at nandito siya sa Canada. Nakapunta na siya sa Canada dati. Na-meet na namin siya maraming beses. Isa sa New York, isa dito. Pero pag sinisilip ko yung mga page niya, yung YouTube niya, yung Facebook, laging may bagong ginagawa. Isa sa mga hardest working man sa showbiz. Yeah. For sure. Nandito po si Mike Swift.
Yun, welcome.
Thank you. Ako lang pa Lagi na lang hardest working, hindi smartest earthling.
Hindi, pero yung ganun nga nakikita mo. Kasi last time na nandito ka, ang pinopromote mo pa yung Araneta Dreams. Araneta Dreams. Tapos kumbaga nakita ko yung vision mo nun sa Pilipinas.
And we did it.
That's
okay.
Si Jay Han pa kasama mo dito. Tapos meron ka pang DVD nun kung paano nyo na-achieve yung Araneta na yun. So nakakabilib nga. Kaya nga, nung time bago-bago pa lang kami, medyo na-inspire kami dun sa ginawa mo. Ayos.
Salamat. Hanggang dito, na magkasama pa rin tayo.
Kaya
salamat.
At ngayon may TV na, may iba kaming ginagawa na. At kumusta naman? Marami namang busy ka.
Yun nga. Naghahanap lagi ng pagkakaabalahan. So, yung pagbisi-bisihan, na-master na natin yan.
Refresh mo lang kami. Kasi, ilang decades na una ka namin nakita, di ba? And yung mga panahon ngayon, yun ang passion mo talaga, yung movement. Yun sa Pilipinas, yun ang natatanda ko, parang nag-move ka sa Pilipinas para talagang may chine-chase ka doon. And then ano yung passion mo yung talagang movement doon? Yung artist ba, hip hop?
Yes.
So kung masasummarize mo every 5 or 10 years, paano nag-progress yung mga parang cause mo sa buhay mo in general? Sa path na tinake mo?
Paano siya nag-progress? Siguro yung pag-commit ko sa dulo ng goal o pangarap, parang...
Pero ano ba yung mga pangarap mo? Sorry, yung in 5
years? Kung sinabi mong per year, sabihin natin. Siguro kasi nung una to the billboard, di ba? Bago to the billboard, sa DVDs, yun yung pinapakita namin Parang ang gusto naming iparating doon is kaya naming maabot ang billboard ng EDSA. Kaya ko, parang ganun yung gusto kong gawing goal. Sa halip na platinum records signed to a major. Parang iniba ko naman, parang ibang goal. So yung progress, makalalaman ko lang yan na, I figured I did it when it happened. So after that, it's like, it took 5 years actually. When I set it as a goal, 5 years. Kakapagod. I did it. Small. I don't know how, but in Guadalupe and EDSA, that's me. I got video already. Put that on the side. Boom. Next goal after that was Araneta. And Araneta took over 3 years for me to achieve that. The goal was to fill it up. So it's not even achieved yet, right? But I did it. I made the effort and I did it until that effort. Since that effort, no one has tried yet. So it's not an easy thing to take a crack at because that's 2014, 13, and still, till now, 10 years later, nobody still tried. Cool. It's not my main goal now to do, but maybe one day we'll all fill it up. But definitely that time I tried and I made history with it, but I failed financially. Hard. After that, I went stupid broke. I went so sad and I went downward. Like when it comes to the scene, you have all the new people just blowing up and doing, and then my thing became like, am I gonna quit? What am I gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? So the fight within me found the tenement.
Yes.
And that's how I was able to keep all my focus in one venue, in one area where I can kind of relate to, because I feel like, shit, my life is in shambles when I'm so broke. I'm so by myself. Nobody mess with you. Big lesson. Because I went broke from doing the Araneta. It was successful in the way that we did it, but I didn't fill it up with no sponsors as an independent rapper, young and aggressive. And now here we did it, but now you got to clean up that mess. And now there's the lesson of humility, because now I only cleared all my debt from that 2013 thing around 2021. So meaning there's no flexing going on in no social media man would say I got brand new shit, doing this, doing that, because I still had to pay people back slowly.
Yeah.
So when you owe something, you ain't gonna be flexing that you got something new. You better pay your back first. So meaning, kind of like a ricochet yung energy dinala ko sa, I brought it to the tenement, and out of that, the community building brought the attention where LeBron James walks in there, and now that's like he got his handprint in there, and then the Kobe, when he passed away, mural became like such a trending situation that is still one of the most famous basketball mural court of all time.
Yeah.
That these are like the fruits of all of that journey, man. It's like dude, and then now I did a song that I didn't. That was the goal. The goal was for me to, from New York, having a label already, that then learning the early music industry ways in America. When I went to the Philippines, my goal was just to gather enough support so when I go to New York, there's something I could lean on and move forward with and show off when I present myself to executives in America or New York per se. So now, it took me like, how many years to have it? But now I got it. So if you see me active again, what are you doing running around in Cali, in Florida, in America? Hey, because I fucking rap in English too. What the hell? I already banged that one in Tagalog. That was the goal. It is doing good for me. It allows me, exactly, the goal that I had before was to have that so I could hop around the whole damn place where people was embracing some of my work, And God bless, I'm actually doing that. Like, I've been doing that for the past, 2 years that I'm independently touring based on the song that people want to listen to and watch me perform, like Calendario, and the basketball and cannabis advocate related things that I've done in the past all kind of caught up to what I'm doing now, and I think that's how I landed here on your panel.
Nakaka-inspire kasi, yun nga, parang hindi naman talaga pinlano. And yung sinabi mo nasa down, hindi ko alam yun na ganun pala yung nangyari nung sa tenement, no? Pero yung pagka-immerse mo doon sa culture na yun, sa slums, sa ganun, is kita mo nangyari. Kasi hindi ako talaga, lumabas sa Netflix may napanood ako dati, di ba? Na yung, kayo yun, di ba?
Midnight.
Na nakaka-inspire kasi ako, hindi ako mahilig sa sports, hindi ako basketball guy o ano. Tapos, tapos, yung sa pagdating sa mga Netflix, iisipin mo lagi, pag Pilipino, mga Pilipinong pelikula, no? mga romantic, rom-com, mga ganyan. Sa totoo lang, bilang ko sa isang kamay ko yung para maging proud ako na parang, kasi puro mga katarantaduhan lang naman puro wala, hindi yun yung nakaka-proud na parang Pilipino.
Makakancel ka dyan.
Pero yung napanood ko, yung docu na yun, na from someone na hindi talaga sa culture ng basketball, na parang sawang-sawa na sa poverty porn, pero iba yung dating nun na parang nakaka-proud na parang yun yung susunod na parang nadinig kita after nung sa nagkita-kita tayo long time ago dun sa bar,
yes.
diba? So parang wow. Pero ngayon ko lang na-realize na hindi pala talaga kaya pala ganun ang dating is totoo na yung mga pinagdaanan mo versus parang akala ko dati baka naghade lang na parang okay, meron tayong deal sa Netflix, anong gusto natin gawin? Magpinta tayo ng mga Lebron dito kasi maraming meron pala talagang ano.
Hanggang ngayon, dala ko po yung laban na kailangan namin ng magandang tubig sa building na yun. Kahit hindi ako nakatira doon ngayon, hindi naman ako doon talaga original na nanggaling. Pero 7 taon din akong nakipaglaban doon sa lahat ng laban nila. Hindi lang nakipaglaban. Ako yung spokesperson talaga nila kahit sa pinakamalaking taong mga kakilala. Ako yung nagre-represent ng
Pero
court.
bakit ka umabot na kailangan ikaw yung mag-represent sa kanila?
Kasi nung pagdating ko doon, pinapalayas na yung mga nakatira doon yung pinapatumba na yung building So pagdating ko doon, kaka-broke ko lang sa Araneta, 'di ba? Kumbaga nakita ko yung place, parang Coliseum na Gladiator, Tapos yung mga tao friendly sa aking habit na ganja hoopin, tapos yung mga tao doon, fans ng underground rap music. So yung welcome doon talagang may pagmamahal din. Tapos na-ipresenta ko siya sa Nike na ginamit siya sa commercial. So yun doon nauna yung yung tiwala, yung pagmamahal ng mga taga roon. Sabi nila, Mike, kumbaga pininta nila yung pangalan ko sa court kasi nagawa ako ng event na picnic games. Pininta nila yung pangalan ko sa court. Tapos ako naman, yung mga idols nilang iba, mga kaibigan kong artist, nadadala ko doon. So yung pasasalamat nila na nabibigyan ko ng puna yung papatumbahin is nag-umpisa doon. Hanggang sa, dahil nga wala akong mapupuntahan na kasi down ako sa maraming pera na yung tirahan na kung saan ako nung nakatira, pupunta lang ako sa EDSA Bonnie, magpi-15 pesos ordinary bus, papaalam sa girl ko. Alam naman niya na ganito ang sitwasyon ko. Pero hindi naman ako magmumukmok. May anggulo ako dahil ako si Pinoy Hoops. Naglilitrato ng mga pictures ng court sa Pilipinas na hindi naman nila alam na ako pala yun, na Mike Swift na rapper pala yung nagpipicture ng mga courts. So natuklasan naman siya ng Nike para sa commercial na sino ba tong Pinoy Hoops na to, hanapin niya ng ating kailangan. So doon ako natuklasan, kaya ako nadala sila sa tenement. You know what I'm saying? So all these little steps that you just take forward that you don't know lands to the biggest things, landed me to the biggest things. So hence, going forward, now that I'm in the tenement and I did the Nike thing, so I know I'm in touch, I just kept doing trending worthy things from the court. So hence the attention, and then I created money situations for people there. I gave all the sneakers that I collect from my charity work that I do to everybody there. And basically, I inspired them to, like after a while, everyone in that building, I had to fix their relationships. Like, yo, stop fighting. You want to win here. We gotta stop fighting here.
May grupo-grupo din.
Oo, napakadami kasi 7 floors yun
Yeah.
Doon pa lang, ibang nature at kultura ng first floor, ibang second, ibang rooftop. So, it's like I had to learn all of that. I had to be every day. I had to be the most honest, transparent person there because now money's coming in for the court because I created it. So I said, I'm going to turn this shit to a billboard and you're going to get paid. So everyone listened to my orchestrating the whole thing until all the way down to when Kobe passed, rest in peace, and Gigi, we had that trending. That was bigger than when LeBron passed. That became bigger than when LeBron passed. So when that happened, nung nangyari yon ay dinumog kami ng mga tao, hindi pa nga tapos ang lahat. Doon na natapos yung pag-control ko sa court. Retiro na ako pagkatapos ng araw na yan.
Bakit iba na yung nag-control or?
Well, dahil nung panahong yon, may HBO, may Jokoy, may kumbaga sobrang busy, sobrang daming napasok na bagay dito. Meron pa nga kaming hindi pa disclosed na GoFundMe na ginawa namin pang 3 taon na 1 taon pa lang ang nasasagot na may 2 taon pa. LeBron James and Nike collabo to help the tenement. So after Kobe's death and COVID, all of these things are still not even talked about. So, maybe this is an important thing to bring out to the table that they still need water at the tenement, no matter no matter how popular that place is, even now FIBA has rented it for the whole year, yet nobody wants to help them with water. Nobody wants to be vocal. So I don't want to poke and ask too many questions why and where and how come. But maybe somebody else like the barbers could, you know.
Baka kasi gusto nila na in the future ba kasi titibagin din. Parang gano'n. Lalagyan ng mga resort. So bakit pa natin lalagyan ng tubig? Baka gano'n.
Ayun, magandang pag-usapan yun. Magandang tanungin yun. Baka lagi nating dagdagan pa ng mga questions. Bakit? So ako isa sa mga ayaw kung kukonti lang kami. So gumala ako sa Amerika, naghahanap ng mga katulong para maikalat yung ganyang mensahe na hindi pa rin ngayon nabibigyan ng halaga. Dahil siguro may mga bagay na hindi pwedeng tapakan. Minsan ganyan naman ang sistema sa Pilipinas na pag meron kang ipinaglalaban na nasa tama, hindi lagi ibig sabihin, madali sabihin, madali gampanan,
Pero
madali
nakaka-frustrate
aksyonan.
kasi usually pag sisihan na, pointing finger, sasabihin, ay kasi itong administrasyon na to, itong mga politikong to, nakailang palit na.
May tanong ako,
Tubig lang naman.
government property ba yan? Or
Hindi naman, pero syempre involved
pero
yung
kahit
mga,
ano,
yung mga official dyan sa
kahit
mga
local.
developer.
Yeah.
Kung meron mga gusto ipatibag dyan, syempre may mga ano yan. Diba? So kung may gusto sasabihin nila, ito sa halagang gantong 1 milyon magkakaroon ng infrastructure na magkakaroon ng malinis na tubig sa 2023 na. Diba?
Come on!
Like ano lang yan, pocket change lang yan ng mga
Dinner
dyan.
lang yun ang mga
Exactly.
come on.
It's
Please.
not even that. I mean, look how much attention is getting right now. Like they should,
But not for the water.
No, what I'm saying is that it also contribute yung parabang awareness and saka yung that people can visit. You know what I mean? People can
Ang ano kasi dito, marami ang mga nagba-viral ngayon for the wrong reasons na kaya mahirap na i-justify. Nakita nyo etong tenement na to, yung pride na dinala sa Pilipinas nito dahil kay Mike Swift, dahil sa community dito is talagang napakainam. Kasi ang dami ngayong sasabihin nila, bakit itong mga ibang influencer na to naging sobrang pride din ng Pilipinas kasi kekembot-kembot ng gano'n na macho pala siya. Alam mo yun? So, yung cause ng iba is iba sa movement na ginawa sa tenement. At baka yun ang nagiging scapegoat ng mga nasa mga posisyon para isipin na so what? Yeah, maraming binigay na attention sa atin yan. Pero ganun din naman si celebrity A. Ganun din naman si influencer A. Ganun din naman ang movement na to. So, kaya ang hirap gawin ng ganung parang yun yung leverage mo. Kailangan iba na may iba pa
Kung ikaw ay magpapayo, anong leverage ang iyong gagamitin para makuha ang tubig para sa tenement?
yan ang
Meron silang tubig, yun ay kinukuha sa baba. Bibilhin ng tao, dadalhin sa mga bawat floor sa rampa. So ngayon, pag ikaw ay 60 years old na, wala kang kasama sa bahay, nakatira ka sa 5th floor, bago mo maiangat yon, araw-araw panligo, pangkain, pang-toothbrush, ano yun, walang running water doon. So, that's why, I'm always wondering, even the big companies that use it for the big things, they know what's up with it. How come they're not vocal with it? And what happened? Where's everyone else that fights for sports? Like, why I feel like I'm the only one that want to be vocal about it, Ang
siguro, kung may magic wand lang ako, at kung tanggalin natin yung mga ibang variable, is ang unang-una, yung empowerment. Kasi pag sinabi mong tenement, usually nga, unfortunately, ang mga nandyan is yung mga kapuspalad. Diba? Yung mga baka hindi afford. Yung
people may assume, but they're like hardworking families.
Exactly.
There. Yeah.
Ang sa akin is paano mo i-reward yun para kumbaga kasi hindi ganun ang relocation ba, pero importante is kailangan empowered sila. Na kasi sabihin na natin baka may valid reason na, or baka regardless dito maski i-demolish din pero importante is na-empower mo sila after with livelihood na marangal na I'm sure lahat yung mga yan may pangarap na hindi naman forever sa tenement. na baka ma-afford nila yung mga baka mas upper tier na mga unit o hopefully bahay.
Meron po, pero karamihan din po is ma-pride na ito ang aming home. Pagandahin nyo na at ayusin, ito ang aming home. At kung kami man ay lilipat, kung meron namang taong gusto, dalhin nyo naman kami sa magandang lugar na may magandang umpisa.
Oo.
Kasi meron silang inilatag before na pwedeng puntahan, pero nung dinatnan, wala, bumalik din yung mga ano. Kasi
Yan nga ang problema. Pati yung kinukurap.
parang sinira na ulit pabalik yung mga binoborda na pag alis, na, kumbaga nabili na. Pero yun nga, nagbabalikan kasi walang buhay sa ilalim ng walang anong gagawin doon. So that's number one. And another thing, but most of the time is the people are proud of the tenement home. They own that. It's just neglected because it was it was given for reparations from World War II, from Japan. The regalo na ang mga sole owners and original owners is from those times, military gifts or something like that. Like na, yun nga, napabayaan na matibay yung building. Ang iba, ang laging sinasabi ng mga taga ron is laging maraming propaganda sa, halimbawa, babagyo darating, magigiba na yan. Ganyan. So, ang dami ng beses na tinakot ng tao doon na naging na sila. They became numb to it. But, my thing is, I don't want to be the cause of why, if it is dangerous, the infrastructure is dangerous and it needs to be fixed, it needs to be fixed. I don't want that to be put on me. My thing is, like, I was there for 7 years, and then before I was even there, how long haven't you had water? So my thing is, while people are figuring it out, can somebody help these people with water?
Sino mayor doon?
Hindi, tsaka kung halimbawa kung nabayaran nga ng FIBA, kung narenta
Gusto mo
nga,
10,000?
kung narenta nga ng FIBA yun di ba? Kung narenta ng FIBA yun for the whole year, dapat pumunta na doon yung funds na yun, di ba?
Exactly. That should be the leverage. But the problem is, when people, look, when there's no control of that court, that was the problem I had partly why I left. It's like the enemy within itself is also, I have to say this for the first time. I love my family at the tenement. I will never put them in a bad disposition, but us ourselves got a little spoiled with how popular that place became. And now everyone wants to butt in and be the person to speak. When I was the sole person speaking for it, everything was harmonized, synchronized, because I built it from scratch. So when the time I left, I felt like I couldn't control it anymore. It's just too much, and I'm not that person anyway. I'm just a freaking ganja hooping, rapping, freestyling, community loving, sneaker giving. You know what I mean? High fiving, let's go paint, and person. But I'm honest, and I know that y'all need water, and they seem to. I'm not afraid to tell them. I never was afraid to say what we needed when we had those big events where we had Paul George come in, we had Nike come in, we had LeBron, we had all of that, and I was always the person who basically made everyone speak up. You know what I mean? Like, so I think after the Kobe thing, it was like, I'm not in place to, like, give it to the... I need to also live. I'm not from there, man. I'm like, that's a lot of responsibility, right? For somebody who's just a visitor and a basketball court. And that's really what I love, is like building the things around the court. So I don't know what's outside everything else, but all the energy is coming from the court. So that's how I want to answer your question, is why I was given the responsibility to answer for the court, is because from scratch, when we were getting kicked out all the way down to the most known mural, and FIBA renting and everyone wanting to use and still want to go there, and I love it, and that's exactly what was my goal. So I graduated from it, and I always hope and wish them well, so
Madaming issue pala.
Yeah.
So, ano yung makakapagpabalik sa'yo doon? Para...
I never left. I will never leave my family there. I'm here telling you about the things that they need the most.
So, kailangan doon.
So, if I go there and anong maabot ko doon, kung doon ako magsisigaw kasama doon, baka madali lang ako doon na... So, baka pagtripan lang ako doon ng
pero
the
pag
higher
sinasabi
powers,
mong,
right?
Pag sinasabi mong tubig, ano ba, yung temporary solution or yung long-term na solution?
Siguro
Ikaw ba, nung temporary at saka solution, ikaw ba makatumira ka sa iyong bahay na walang tubig ng isang araw, kapatid?
Dapat yun
Hindi kasi
kailangan.
sinasabi ko, of course gusto mo ay
It's either temporary or permanent.
No,
You just want water, right?
of course gusto mo
That's a
permanent.
daily necessity.
Pero kung halimbawa nga ang daming obstacle sa permanent kasi red tape, yung mga
Okay,
politiko.
kahit basta bigyan nyo ng madaling access sa tubig ang mga taong to gripong naandar, alam mo yun?
Pero kung halimbawa magpa-deliver, halimbawa truck ng mga maski mga bottled water, okay ba na
Tatanggi ka ba sa
temporary?
tatanggi ka ba sa grasyang
Hindi,
gano'n?
yun ang-
I did that before. I had a bottled water company at least support an event. You know how dope it was because water makes us move.
Yun nga.
So tubig. Wow, ang ganda ng event. Parang tubig, di ba? Sa simpleng
So
tubig.
imaginein mo yun on a
Come on,
daily
man.
while waiting kasi may mga bagay na sa
While
ngayon
waiting, there you go.
wala tayong control sa ngayon.
Kariton, alam mo yung karton na ang hirap nila dalhin sa taas, pwedeng sa mga ganung bagay. So ako, nag-iisip ako ng mga ganung paraan. Hindi lahat rekta, parang ayaw nyo rekta. May mga bagay na makakatulong, kagaya nun. Make dope carts that is easy to push up to 5th floor for the older people as a gift. You know, or sponsor their water for a year. Or pay for some help guys to help for a day. There's a lot of ways. So, but you live there every day. I can't help every person that I see. You almost become part of the culture and you understand why it is the way it is. It's like almost like, come on, they need help. We need help.
Si Mayor talaga. Si Mayor. Kailangan si Mayor.
So kailangan is yung I guess dito tayo kung halimbawa tayo as TV or masabi yung storya. Alam mo yun, yung mga storya na ganun talaga yung nangyayari or
Maganda nga to kasi hindi naman natin pinag-usapan po na ito ang ating pag-uusapan. Natural na dito tayo napapunta sa usapan na to.
I think nasabi mo na rin kanina, may mga foundation na parang help yung tenement.
A lot. I could
lot.
name a lot.
Where
All the way down to
where are
Manny
those-
Pacquiao's foundation.
where are
Always
those-
interested in helping.
Where are those funds? Yun lang ko. Where are those funds, right?
But it's not enough to build what they do because
Okay.
sometimes these big companies that go there to ask for work, it's like they know that this is a place that will say yeah to anything.
Yeah.
A free shirt, a free sneaker, a free thing that, us, no dissing my family, but I'm saying they have to up that. So now they value it to this much and that much and everyone, it's like,
kumbaga
it's hard, man. It's hard how to do that. That's why it's like it's not enough to build that. Plus, people there is in need, so the service they give there is already deserving of what they get, and that seems like a lot, but it's a little in the big picture. Parang. Come on, yung ginagawa naming art doon, pang $1 million work yun eh. Kumbaga, pero okay na kami sa mga sira-sirang sapatos, di ba? Parang, you know what I mean? It's never valued properly even though it's celebrated by the world, bro.
Kulang lang ng talagang
hindi yung
Kulang sa bayag.
hindi efficient talaga
whoever
yung
is running yung municipality doon or it's just kulang, wala silang.
Well, ganun din naman yata lahat ng karamihan na nangyayari din sa atin or
People only care about the tenement when they need it. When they need it for the shots, they need it for the thing. So they'll make an offer and that's just enough for that become a place for, at least they can use it for helping to make a living in some of the corners of the tenement. The only thing is when there's politics there that fight for that cheese. So it's like once it gets dropped, it's like there's no handling it properly. So that's one. So that's what I mean. It's like a lot of cleaning up to do and there's no one to blame. But there's a lot to do when it comes to synchronizing in communications. The water company, the owners, the municipio, the government, the foundations that want to help, the companies that want to use it, and the educating the residents. It's like, it's a lot of just corruptions from every corner. Just makes it hard to make things work. Especially imagine from my position. And all the years that I've managed, and it took like that Kobe situation for me to realize something even bigger. that and it made me realize even that I could let me get out of here too, because I've done the most for this place. I think you guys are good because you guys a lot of things going on. You know, you're making money, and I'm not. Who am I, the accountant over here, or who am I? I get the deals, I do it, I give it my voluntary time, I do all of this, and then I have to be your spokesperson, and then you know, para akong
Ang daming trabaho nun.
na hindi ko naman hindi
bigat,
naman ako obligado.
Yeah.
Pero yung pagmamahal ko, yun nga, dala ko dito sa paglaban ng tubig nila. Pag ginamit niyo po yung hashtag na Dear Lebron, hashtag DEARLEBRON, silipin niyo lang po lahat ng makikita niyo, basahin niyo po lahat ng babasahin niyo. Lahat yun po ay punto para makabalik ako sa Nike, kay Lebron, at makausap ng ayos kung pwede ba, baka sila naman na makatulong sa ibang paraan na makapagdala ng tubig doon. Bakit? Kasi walang nagiging bokal na ganun sa Pilipinas. Walang nag-ahabol ng ganun para sa tubig nila na nakikita ko. Hindi naman ako nagbibida. Gusto kong makahanap ng kasama o pumunta kung meron na at sasamahan ko sila. Pero wala talaga eh. Kumbaga, ako pa rin talaga yung ngayon yung nagpapaalala sa inyo na ganyan pa lang meron doon. Kasi nakikita nyo lang yung glory. So for me, it's like, man, now I feel good saying this because I think this is the first kind of place that I'm a little more open about speaking about it, you know. But when you do the hashtag Dear Lebron, that was me sneaking my way into these platforms to
Para
let them know.
manuling attention. Para at least
andito si Lebron ngayon nasa Caribana. Nakita siya sa Toronto kanina.
Galing.
So kasi pag like every first weekend yung Caribbean Festival. So
Di ba dapat nasa ospital siya kasi yung anak niya na
hindi, wala na
nagka-cardiac
yata. Pero I think nakalabas na eh.
Naka-recover na yata.
Ganun pala yun. Nakaka-guilty din kasi, alam mo yun, puro ang tingin natin sa tenement is kung ano yung napanood natin, yung glory, yung tapos, yung pinaka-basic na necessity pala is pinakamalaking issue. Hindi na mag-uusapan.
I was clueless. I mean, thank you for bringing that up.
Clueless.
We're
Ang daming
clueless
clueless
about yung sitwasyon nga sa loob. Right?
Patay si Mayor.
Nakikita last na nakita ko was Jokoy. Yeah, it was a Jokoy.
Nandun si Jokoy.
Yeah.
Yes, that was also through me putting that together. My boy hit me up and said Jokoy wants to use the tenement, and I made the whole thing
Tapos
happen.
tubig hindi.
Yes, yung mga attention ng mga superstars.
So they use it, and they use it when they want it, they need it, they go all out. So people
Dapat
there is like,
masabi sa kanila.
trabaho na, diba? So hindi na naabot siya sa dati yung kay Kobe kasi gusto kong gamitin sana yon para maging leverage na hindi namin to buburahin o ganito, bigyan nyo kami ng tubig. Parang gagamit. Dahil nga nawalan na ako ng boses nung araw na yun dahil pinili ng maraming mga kumbaga veterans of tenement. I guess they had their own plans of what they want to try to do during its height of its popularity. That I feel like, man, this is not for me to be possessive about. I feel like, you know.
Magkano ang kailangan para maano yung tubig?
Hindi naman po ako ang kailangan talungan dyan kasi
Parang
hindi naman ako engineer.
Kasi may kilala ko Vince Pahalan ba?
Makihiram tayo. Hindi, sa akin ang solusyon, yung kamay ni Lebron na nasa pader na nakasemento, nako, kahit yun.
Ibenta.
Benta nyo. Yun na kayo na magbayad ng ano doon, di ba? Parang, come on, man. You know where that came from. Come on, bro.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is like, you know, that's like how I'm thinking. Like
That's art now. That you can.
Pero I think yun yung strength.
I love the sentiment, and all my people's there, like they know what's up. I mean, I got some of them owning NFTs. I put money aside. Like I help some of the young guys, T-Gang, the rappers there. I know them since they're kids and they grow up. So you know, we have that. We have that brother family vibes there. So there's no malice like thing. So I never left. So sometimes I go there with my hoodie on. It gets touchy when it goes there. I mean, like it gets emotional too when they see me in there. It's like, you know.
Tsaka I think yun yung isa sa mga strength mo na I think okay nga rin na parang hinayaan mo yung iba para ikaw mas gawin mo na, parang gawin mo na yung Pilipinas as yung next na tenement mo. alam mo yan, yung
Well,
catch ka.
yes, I always looked at it na ang tenement is gagawin kung dahil hindi ko dati kasi nagwewelga-welga pa ako sa Luneta para sa Pilipinas, para sa ganyan. Dadaan ng mga nakasakay sa bus, parang ang tingin sa amin sira ulo. Alam mo yun, hindi effective eh. Parang sabi ko, I'm not like so when I discovered the tenement and I said I started to make the analogy na ang tenement yung Pilipinas. Pag nakakakita akong pagbabagong nangyayari sa tenement, which ang dami, na ngayon ang dami ng mga halaman, nagwawalis na ganyan, gumanda ng gumanda, doon ko nakakita na may posibilidad, parang ang sarap magbigay ng enerhiya, nakita mo ang outcome ng progress.
Kaya nga.
Hindi yung pupunta ako doon sa makikisigaw ako, hindi mo naman alam kung pinaglalaban mo yung hashtag nga, hindi nyo hindi nyo pagkasunduan yung pang Pilipinas gustong isalvo. So, I kind of looked at the tenement like if this was making progress, that means there's a chance that the Philippines could get cleaned up too. So let me just start small and see what's going on. And this is where I feel na nakakaambag ako sa society.
Hindi, kaya nga, I think yun nga yung isa sa mga strength mo kasi nakikita mo yung like parang tayo minsan na mas makikita natin kasi outside looking in tayo, galing tayo North America. Kung ba lumabas tayo ng Pilipinas, tas nakikita natin. And yung nadala mo, especially yung resulta ng tenement, baka mas malaki pa yung magagawa mo.
Salamat.
I think yun yung I think isa sa mga strength mo yun. Like tuloy-tuloy ka ginagawa.
Exactly. And ang ngayon next naman tayo topic. Given yung sinabi mo nga kung ano talaga yung nasa target mo is na-achieve mo, no? And paano ka ngayon nag-transition or paano mo dinagdag kumbaga sa goalpost mo yung pagdating dito sa advocacy mo sa cannabis? Like paano? Medyo
kasi,
iba eh. Paano
kasi ang
nag-jump?
nagdala din talaga sa akin sa tenement, pwede naman akong maging honest na sa panahon ngayon at ito'y marami namang rebelde din doon na itong pinaglalaban. Kumbaga, maraming sa tenement kasi, since walang namamahala, mas madali makapag doon. Kumbaga, ngayon naman, kung manunood kayo ng mga NBA podcast, ina-admit nila na 85% of the league smokes weed, you know what I mean?
Wala na
So
ngayon
it's
yun.
not
It's
like
normal. It's normal.
Especially
normal.
these,
So basketball and that is also it's like a thing that is connected, and I experienced it for decades, and I want to kind of like express my truth. Like I don't want to convince no one. I just want to express my truth, and I want to share it with people who have the same passion. But being even in America, I was already connected to cannabis. Like I was running around in the streets, young, helping my family by not having them worry about me. And part of my hustle was, doing my thing. And that culture from America that I grew up, which is always related to hip hop, hip hop culture, Snoop Dogg's and the things is always connected to. And in the Philippines too, the Master Plans, the Francis M's, they went through their things. So anyhow, that's the stem of it. And then growing up, it's medicinal for me at this point, right? So I started to wanting to help people that were getting locked up. Nakukulong sila sa Pilipinas, alimbawa nahuli ng may konti. Nakakulong hanggang ngayon, nakakulong pa rin.
Yeah.
Eh dito, kita mo naman, pounds na sa harap mo, wala pa rin. So, sa akin, parang unfair yata ito Tapos ang mga nakakulong, mga kaibigan kong rappers, mga iba. So ngayon, ako, naging kuya na sa iba doon. So takbuhan na rin ako ng tulong. So ngayon, parang ako, kuya, it's time. You gotta stop this. We still stop locking these kids up because they run into me. I don't have to. So, I'm starting to dig into it. Parang paano ako makakatulong? Meron palang mga talagang nakikipaglaban. Na ngayon, lumawak na. Na ngayon, yun ang main topic ngayon ng mainstream news sa Pilipinas. Ang pagligal ng cannabis dito. So,
decriminalize.
Especially decriminalize, yes. So, sanay na kasi ako sa mga dito, recreational na rin sa Canada. Matagal na, di ba?
Dito.
So, yun nga, nag-travel ako. na umabot na nagka-presentation sa Thailand na pwede akong maging partner sa Mabuhay Maharlika kasama yung Sensible Philippines na leaders, kasama yung mga ibang advocates, yung mga pinaka-head ng Maharlika, si Art at si Guada. Na-invite po ako na maging ambassador, owner, and they let me innovate. I asked them like, I'll partner up, but you have to let me take care of the digital aspect of it, and they were happy about it. And part of my NFT launch, the movie Ganja Hoops, that I could easily do in Thailand na mahirap gawin sa Pilipinas. Yun, kaya naging open up na nasa Thailand ako nakatira ngayon dahil nga yung timeline ng paggawa ng pelikula sakto din sa aking parang dito muna ako sa Thailand, may shop na ako, dito ko pa magagawa yung pangarap kong pelikula ganito, tapos yung NFT na napag-aralan ko na ganito pala yan, napag-connect ko yung dalawa, na ngayon sobrang happy ako kasi yung mga dating tunay kong supporter pwede kong komportableng imbitahin na pumasok, sumali, pumusta kasi ito ang ating ownership na meron tayo. Umpisa sa pelikula, ang lahat ng nakatali sa pelikula, sa music, sa soundtrack, sa merch, pati sa legal weed na nabebenta sa tindahan. So habang buhay yun na meron kaming timeline na every 3 months may. So I love this na kahit konti pa ngayon or madami na rin, but now I feel like this is how I can really give back to my community, is everything I think of to move forward with that I wanna include public or company or supporters, they can also put in and earn with it. Like so dati yun nga, parang ganun na ulit, bagong community building, saan? Sa loob. Ano ngayon ang outcome nito? Well, yes, we're gonna try to get everybody financially paid by having a whole bunch of generous people giving art into starting from the film all the way down to photos to anything, right? So parang ang sarap dalhin dito kasi hindi sila nawawala, hindi sila nagagalaw, hindi sila nabubulungan. Kumbaga, pumusta sila, nagiintay na lang sila ng pinangako ng nagpatakbo ng NFT to, which is ako, na tiwala lang na makagawa tayo ng magandang pelikula. Hence, me and Ice Cube, that's my latest. To me, if you say, Mike, anong pinaka-latest mo ngayon sa iyong mga 5-year na progress na yung sinasabi yan?
Oo.
Eh di yung NFT movie nung May 6, pagka-launch nung shop, sinabay ko yung launch ng movie na binigyan ko ng timeline na sinabi ko sa aking yung nakasubaybay sa nanood sa Facebook Live o saan man. Nag-live ako araw-araw. Sabi ko, umpisa, 0 pa tayo ngayon. So ngayon sabi ko, ang inyong job is to save up $10 and learn how to make a crypto wallet, and my responsibility is dadalhin ko ang pelikulang to sa attention ni Ice Cube dahil meron siyang sariling strain, no? Kush, Friday Kush, meron akong tindahan. Producer siya ng pelikula, you know, like even mainstream pelikula, kahit sa Teenage Mutant Turtles, na doon siya. Yan ang ginagawa namin. Big 3? Ba, naging ako, Voice of 3x3 from Chooks to Go for 4-year ambassador. Like, so I already have a super background in that. And now I'm painting all these courts. And I hunted him down, which led me to Canada actually here too, because I went to New York on one of the Big 3 stops. And my goal was, I met my goal right there on the first stop of meeting him.
Wow.
Got his number, got the conversation. Long story how I also kind of made it that way where I got time to speak to him. But it was, just to say it short, the owner of Ball Hogs, which is a Big 3 basketball team, is pinakasuki ko ng aking MetaHoop NFT. So, pinamimigay nila yon sa apps at saka sa mga nananalo, reward sa mga tao ng fan base nila. So, doon ako nagka-connect na habulin ko si Ice Cube dahil gagamitin ko yung pangalan niya, yung brand niya, yung ganyan niya sa pelikula. So, ipinahatid ko sa kanya na pinagtabi kita ng movie NFT. So, pwede ko sabihin co-owner si Ice Cube ng NFT. Pinagtabi kita ng ano. So, so basically, I want to do a great job keeping that relationship and make sure keeping him tuned in and reel him in, and maybe he'll step in and say, let me take over here from here. You know, like do it like this or do it like that. So, you know, I'll take my time and make sure.
Teka, may iced tea ba? O yung si Ice Cube?
Meron.
Iba yung iced tea.
Ay, iba yung si Ice-T.
Sino si Ice Tea?
Meron ding ice sa sigera.
Sino yung huling kausap ni Tucker Carlson? Si Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Yun, si Ice Cube.
Si Ice Cube
Yun nga.
kasi yung ano,
So
ngayon,
tama iniisip ko.
nasa mga podcast siya ngayon eh. Kumbaga relevant siya kasi parang ini-expose niya yung parang corruption eh. Ng kung bakit hindi na po-promote. Kasi yung Big Three niya.
Tama.
Kasi parang yung NBA, hinaharang lahat ng like mga moves niya para sumikat yung Big Three na yun. Kaya nga okay na okay. Kakaparinig
Diba?
ko lang.
Parang ka-relate yung aming landas. Parang so hindi ko minamadali. Baka destiny.
Oo nga.
Wow.
Pag nangyayari yun, okay na okay yun.
Sa ngayon kasi parang mangyayari yun. Inevitable kasi yung pinopost niya sa Instagram niya, i-backtrack nyo, mga padala ko sa cellphone niya eh.
Ganun.
May litrato yun ng lupa ko, may si Kobe, nakaganto, nakaganyan. May picture sila ni Ice Cube, magkaganyan. Tapos pinadala ko na doon yung nagpintura ng nag-ukit nun, si Rashid Sandigan, na yun nga, partner ko sa Meta Hoops din, na after sending his cell phone, he posted the next day. So basically, I have this relationship where I'm communicating with him. So it's just a matter, it's just a matter of writing the script, showing it to him, keep it moving forward. Because I have a timeline in my NFT na may deadline ako sa February 7, 2024. I gotta be able to show the owners that ano ba nabuo nyo ng ating yan. So ito po.
Lahat ngayon
Well, yeah, crypto is still early, but adaptation, especially NFT right now, is gonna be huge within. I'm actually expecting within a year or two. That's it is. I mean,
and it's a $10 experience. So I'm hoping you guys after this also, if you, I'll give you guys some, and if you wanna cop, you feel free to linger there and learn and research. Parang siya, magandang patikim muna. Tikim na kaunti para hindi kayo madala. Parang ano ba yan? Ito simple lang, may-ari ka ng pelikula. Itong resibo mo. Kumbaga, ganun kasimple. Ano bang meron dyan? Imagine mo, ikaw may-ari ng Titanic. Pati kanta ni Celine Dion, iyon ang kita noon, yung komunidad na may-ari. So right now, that's what we're trying to do. We'll write a good story, a good script surrounding ganja hooping.
So whoever have the NFT can
share money every 3 months starting May 7, 2024. So halimbawa, may weekly news kami sa YouTube ng may mga may-ari ng NFTs. Ito po ang bagong balita sa ating NFT. May merch na mga nabenta dito sa Bulacan, sa Mandaluyong. So, nakumita tayo ng 100,000. Ilalagay natin sa ating pot. Dagdag sa parating na may dates every 3 months. So, gagawin ko siyang show na update na ng Tapos, pag may-ari ka, halimbawa, kayo, may-ari ka ng NFT. Nakita mo si Drake, binidyo mo, pinadala mo sa atin, lalagay ko sa upload natin sa video natin, isinare ng lahat ng mga may-ari para kumalat, nag-viral yung kita nun atin. So hindi pa lang naabot sa pelikula, meron nang pwedeng mag-metro. Kasama na dun yung sinasabi kong Ganja Hoops is a strain in my shop that is the highest selling strain. So instead of keeping it for myself, I'm also sharing it with everyone. So yung kita nun, on my shop, that is the highest selling one, every month we'll be putting that also literal pot money. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing is, paano pa pag nag-expand yung shops namin sa iba't ibang lugar? Kasama, damay na yon. So yung pagrehistro nung strain noon, starting November 6, yung pera ng kita mula doon, transparent kong laging ipapakita na ito na po, naiambag na sa paghahatian sa May 7. So, ang pinaka-importante sa akin siguro is yung magawa ng magandang pelikula na kumagat ng mga Netflix sa umpisa. So, ngayon, ang daming mga may-ari na, halimbawa, yung pelikulang sinasabi mo, yung mga directors noon, napabenta ko sila ng napabili ko sila ng NFT nito eh. So, madami ng talents talaga na all the biggest rappers, they own these NFTs. Basically, my tribe. I found my tribe. So, I found people that are real supporters and not fake supporters. I think that's what I like about the NFT
Yeah,
space na matutuklasan mo ngayon kung sino yung katribo mo. Kasi ngayon,
It's a whole community. I mean, like yung mga like Ape or other NFT crypto there. Actually, mga sinalian akong early investors. Ewan ko how they're doing right now.
Hindi, ang kaibahan kasi, kaya marami rin napaso dyan, no? Ay, ano ba talaga yung value? Kasi ang nangyayari ngayon, may stigma sa NFT kasi nagiging pump and dump and talagang easy money, easy. Na ganun lang. Ngayon, $1, Bored Ape biglang 1 million. O magkano na ngayon uli? Di ba? Justin Bieber, kumuha ng 1 million ngayon.
Let me tell you my opinion on that, or my research. My thing is, halimbawa tayo, milyonaryo tayo, marami tayong breads. Napag-isahan natin ng gawa tayo ng Bored Ape, gantong kamahal. Tayo muna yung unang bibili, atin naman to eh. Pinasakay mo ngayon anong utility noon? Ay, meron kang sa yacht, meron kang ganto. Bigyan natin si Eminem, bigyan natin si Snoop. Sinong kanilang tinatarget na makuha? Yung mga mayayaman na kayang bumili na picture lang, collectibles to eh. So, napagtripan nila yung marami. Alam mo kailan ang backfire nun? Ngayon.
Exactly.
Bakit? Kasi wala nang provide na utilities para ang tao ay maging active sa loob eh. Pero I don't want to sleep early. Could still blow whoever got it. Might have sold it and dumped it when it's low. So that's how that
Pero
applies.
nasa mali kasi yung nila eh. Nasa mali yung heart nila.
Ayun.
Yung binanggit mo
nasabi
kanina
ko.
na medyo eye-opening sa akin na yung kaibahan nung sayo is laging may fresh na idea na ang magbe-benefit ay lahat.
Yeah.
Ito ang difference na pag artist ang nagra-run, I think may iba rin na mga nagtatry through music. Regardless kung ano man yan.
Yes,
Music,
anything. You can do
kung ano mang
anything.
media, yun ang kaibahan. Versus ang value lang na talagang nakikita mo nga dun sa mga NFT ay, ang ganda ng pagka 3D ng art. Ang ganda, bigla nagmo-morph.
Look, let me tell you how simple NFT is right now if you was to make it a concept. Hindi naman siya complicated. Ginagawa mo lang, yung iniisip lang ng tao, pine-person nilang maging komplikado. Itong bagay na to, sitwasyon na to, halimbawa, 2 tasa na yan, pinirmahan nating 4. Boom, boom, boom. Pinicturean, 2. Ilalagay mo sa OpenSea NFT, picture ng isang pinirmahan, 2 pinirmahan. To, 2 of a kind lang to sa tayo ang magdidikta kung magkano. Tig 1 million yan.
Yung rarity.
Ano ngayon? Tig 1 million yan. Or sabihin nyo, tig 10 piso lang, tig $10. Tayo ang magdidikta niyan. Ngayon, ilalagay mo. Ang challenge dyan is pag ako dadaan dyan, ano ba yung tasang yan? Ba't ko bibilhin yan? Pag binili, babasahin nila. Makakatulong magbigay ng 1,000 galon tubig sa tenement. May kapalit na pintura na libre sa Kung ano man yung pwede mong ibigay nating 4 sa kanila, basta yung bibili noon, nakakapit sa gusto nilang bilhin, whether it's personal, sentimental, or for business purpose, and flipping it, the challenge is how do you make them buy with the value that you put it out for? Meaning, it turns to real money when you could get someone to buy into it. Now, if the person buys into it, don't get the service that you promised, where do they go? They leave. You don't have a good community then. Then you become a dying number. So what's the challenge there? To build a community that keeps everyone happy, keeps everyone giving and coming in. And you just have to provide that for what you built. Because I'm the NFT builder of this is how I want the contract to be. So whether you're in or not, it's up to you to put your money in. Na kung talo yung pusta mo, wag ka rin iiyak-iyak. Wag mo nalang pustahan ulit. Tsaka that's a failed, just like in real life.
Yeah.
So basically,
There's
parang tunay na buhay lang siya pero sa Web3, sa internet.
There's
Basta
such
buhayin yung community. Yun yung
Yes,
importante.
but my point is you could make that an NFT right tomorrow, right now, in that way that we said it. But can we make somebody buy it for $1 million for that? Can we make somebody buy it for $20 for that? But we dictate. Parang, kumbaga sa gobyerno na nagpeprenta ng sariling pera, pag pinrenta mo yan ng walang value, pinrenta mo lang dahil gusto mo magprenta ng pera pero wala namang
value
anong mangyayari? Nasisira yung
Currency.
right, the host.
inflation. Yeah.
Pinaparinggan mo bang ang Federal Reserve?
Hindi yung ano lang, yung point lang doon. It's yung sabi nga niya, it's for you to take that risk as well. There's successful NFTs. There's are other NFTs that fails because of the of how the community is run, right? Like as long as as somebody is running or making awareness of yung community, as an investor, you'll benefit into that, right?
Basta nasa blueprint nga is for the good nung talaga makakatulong ka at kikita ka yun lahat, hindi lang ikaw. Yun ang importante kasi kung iba ang blueprint ng mga creator and iba ang magiging idea mo, 'di ba? Drive mo
Yes.
versus sa isang computer programmer or isang artist na alam mo yun, tinatrato yun as parang museum or parang ano ba yung mga bidding iba
Collectors.
collector. Oo.
So, yeah.
Yun ang I think pinaka
Pwede rin
iba.
siyang resibo. Pwede siyang anything that you could imagine na maging transaction sa metaverse or sa crypto world is why NFTs I think is brought to life. It's like parang resibo siya na mahirap. Hindi mo siya mabubura. Inado ng records talaga habang buhay.
Yeah.
So, kumbaga sa akin, iwas middleman talaga to. Para,
which is marami ding magagalit, no? Na
marami magagalit.
Marami
Yung
against.
the bank systems are against. Why? Because it's like iba ang porsyentuhan doon. Tsaka hindi nila magamit. Kumbaga, yun nga, nagpeprenta lang sila ng pera minsan na walang value. So, parang bumabalik. Ngayon, yung crypto, parang linisin natin to.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, so...
yun nga,
I'm learning, I'm new to it too.
May importante yun kasi marami rin talagang nag-take advantage at mga
Yeah, that's regular in real life, right?
Tama.
You can't just be like that in regular life. So ang nangyari doon sa crypto is sa taong nagmamadali, tanga-tanga ka. Not to diss nobody, but there's scammers everywhere. It's like pag nagmamadali ka, dala mo ang bag mo sa gitna ng Quiapo, nawala. Same kind of like analogy. It's like, why is the stigma that when you say crypto scam? You're hanging with the wrong group. I'm hanging with a group that say crypto, 100 million in the folder. You know what I'm saying? Like crypto, this guy, like a free trip to Dubai and Siargao and enjoy crypto spending. How'd you do that? Like this. So me doing the nickel and diamond small amount of money NFTs got discovered by big groups, and now I'm in my process of being an ambassador for Streak blockchain that is launching NFTs. That one of them is mine, and I'm excited because the movie I'm fine. Ako, tinuturuan ko lang yung mga masang tao na si Jay-Z nga, nagtayo pa ng school sa Brooklyn para maturuan sila ng financial literacy.
Yeah.
So, ako, in this way, nakakatulong na ako na testingin nyo yan, 500 pesos lang, pag-aralan nyo, isipin nyo anong NFT nyo. Pag maganda yan, idadalhin natin lahat. Kumbaga yung mga gandang idea mo, pagkitaan natin lahat yan, sasama natin lahat ng nagawa ng crypto wallet. So umpisahan natin sa zero talaga. So ngayon, guess how many NFTs was bought of Ganja Hoops? It's like what? 440? Then you say like 2,500 NFTs sold? I love it. It's like, I could do a movie with that. Sanay na nga ang Pilipino na from trash to treasure Kumbaga, yun nga ang ginawa ko sa tenement, di ba? Galing nga ako doon. Wala 15 pesos nga lang ang puhunan ko doon sa pagdala kay Lebron doon, di ba? But it's all energy. That's a currency that people never take into consideration. Relationships, currency, even the used sneakers. Was like, gusto niyong gumalaw o sira-sirang sapatos sa inyo, sa ganyan, o naghihingalo si ganito, o benta mo na yan, kaya mo pa, para sa diya, basta sa tamang lagay, wala namang binigay na sa akin yan, basura na yan. So you create something out of nothing from survival, from necessity, and for for the love reasons, I guess, Otherwise, sa magagaling to, puta, ba't ko pa ipaglalaban to kung tamad-tamad din lang ako na, di ba, parang ewan ko, saan nagagaling yun, di ba? Oh no, baka sa kape.
Ayun, thank you very much at Mike Swift at na bumisita ka sa amin. Honor para sa amin at narinig namin yung mga kwento mo. Baka gusto mong imbitahin yung mga viewers natin kung anong mga next para mahanap nila si Mike Swift.
Siguro po lang yung NFT crypto space pag-aralan nyo kasi ramdam ko sa hilig ko din mag-give back na sa sitwasyon na yun ang nakakatulong sa aking komunidad para makita din nila yung mapakinggan ng musika ko. Siguro yun din drive ko. Parang ayaw nila pakinggan ito. Meron akong may mga gustong. So anyway, my thing is, pinag-aralan po namin to at pinustahan at linakbay ang mundo para maipresenta na ito na yung paraan para maibalik ko yung tulong ninyo. I know it's weird because you're asking them to pay to help me help you, but this is really the best platform. I feel that if you're a real person that believes na mapagbigay yung mundong ito, which makikita naman nila na, oy, tunay nga. Huwag kayong matakot pag-aralan o magtanong because sayang, baka pumatok, baka nga pumasok si Ice Cube, baka pumaldo.
You never know.
You
right?
never know.
Yeah.
So, huwag niyong palagpasin na sumama din. So, ako gusto ko, the more the merrier because I have a lot of NFT drops to come and I don't want, kumbaga sa Noah's Ark, lahat ng animals at mga tao nakapasok na sa first trip. Kung hahabol kayo sa next trip, kailangan mo niyang rumenta o kaya manghiram ng speedboat.
Mas malaki na.
Kasi kami na doon na, baka hindi na kami makakabalik at saka so you're gonna spend a little more and it's gonna be a little bit less space because over there we're picking up more people. So that's how I can also make an example, analogy of it, I guess,
Ayun.
Wow.
Thank
Hindi
you
lang
very
yun.
much.
Tataas na. Like, let's say,
Oh yeah, the cost of crypto
the cost
go
of
up.
crypto is gonna go if it's
Yes.
based on ERC, for example. Kasi, I don't know.
Yes.
Si Warren,
Ethereum and Polygon.
Polygon, Polygon is much
si Warren
cheaper.
nakabili ng bahay dahil sa crypto.
Naniniwala po ako doon. Kagaya na sabi ko yun na dahil nga sa pag-ano ko ng NFT sa maliit na yung mga malalaking meron, parang tinanong ko rin yung buhay nila.
It's
Ano
just,
ka gano'n, Bumili lang sila ng maraming Bitcoin nung noon.
I actually sold a Bitcoin when I was out like early days.
Fire
Pero
though.
you know,
Really experienced it.
I experienced it the hard way. Pero yun nga, I think it's for some people it's just risk. Some people it's just like financial freedom.
Yun. Thank you very much, Mike Swift. At sa mga nanonood dito sa magkita-kita tayo next week. Pero huwag niyo kakalimutan yung mga videos din namin sa YouTube, Filipino TV Official. Check out niyo rin. At
Hindi naman tayo nag-upload.
hindi ba tayo? Mag-comment na lang kayo. At magkita-kita na lang ulit tayo next week dito lang sa Barber's Cut.
To the moon.